Marley was dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of this story. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the sole mourner. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. Once upon a time, of all the good days in the year, on Christmas Eve, Bob Cratchit sat busy in the counting house of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Be off, I tell you!
Good evening, Mr. Scrooge. Your nephew is here, sir.
What?
Your nephew, Fred. I told him that you wouldn't see him, but he insisted
A
on...
Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Bah, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. Surely you don't mean that.
I do. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? What reason have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What reason do you have to be dismal? You're rich enough.
Bah, humbug. How can I help being dismal when I live in such a world of fools? What's Christmas time to you but a time to find yourself a year older and not an hour richer? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lip would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep Christmas in your way, let me keep it in mine.
Keep it? But you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good may Christmas do you. Much good it has ever done you.
There are many things from which you can derive good, but not profit, Uncle. When I think about Christmas time, apart from the honor to its sacred name and origin, and though nothing can be apart from that, I find Christmas to be a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable time, a time when men and women seem to be in one mind, to open up their hearts freely, and to think of the people around them as people, worthy of their help and attention. And therefore, though I've never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that Christmas has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
Yeah. Let me hear one more word on it, you Bob Cratchit, and you'll keep Christmas by losing your situation.
Come, Uncle, don't be angry. Come and dine with Clara and me tomorrow.
You ask me the same question every year, and the answer's still the same. No.
But why, Uncle, why?
Why did you get married?
Why? Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. That's the only thing in the world more ridiculous than a Merry Christmas. Good afternoon.
But, Uncle, you never came to see me before I was married. Why give it as a reason for not coming now? I want nothing of you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry with all my heart that you won't join us, Uncle. We've never had a quarrel in which I've had a part. I made this offer as homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas good humor to the last. So have a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Good afternoon.
And a Merry Christmas to you, Bob.
Merry Christmas, sir, indeed.
There's another one. Here's my first. 15 shillings a week and a family to support. Talking of a Merry Christmas. How retired a bedroom.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Ah, have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night.
Our condolences, sir.
We have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable for us to provide some slight provisions for the poor and destitute.
Many thousands are in want of common necessities, Mr. Scrooge.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
Ah, for a moment, I was afraid from what you were saying that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
A few of us are trying to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink, a means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time, of all others, when one is keenly felt and abundance rejoices.
crown for?
Nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. Those who are badly off must go to those institutions which I talked about earlier.
Many can't go there, Mr. Scrooge. Many would rather die.
If they would rather die, then they had better do it and decrease the surplus populations.
But if you would only understand.
What is there to understand? It's quite enough for a man to understand his own business, and mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon. See them up, Mr. Cratchit.
Yes, sir. Hey.
5 minutes past the hour. Well, I suppose a little more can be done today anyway. Clear up your desk.
Yes, sir, Mr. Scrooge.
You'll be wanting the whole day off tomorrow, I suppose.
It's quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I were to stop you have a crown for it, you would think yourself ill-used. Yet you don't consider me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work.
It's only once a year, sir.
A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. Still, I suppose you must have it off. Be here all the earlier the next morning.
Yes, sir. And get well soon, Mr. Scrooge. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. And a Merry. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
This was the very thing Scrooge liked, to edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning all human sympathy to keep its distance. He was pleased that nobody ever stopped him on the street to say, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? Will you come see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children asked him what it was o'clock. No man or woman ever once in all his life inquired the way to such and such a place. External heat and cold, whether it came from the elements or the human beings around him, had little influence on Scrooge. No warmth could warm, no wintry weather chill him. Scrooge barely noticed the cold and fog and darkness as he made his solitary way home to the apartments, which had once belonged to his deceased partner, Jacob Marley.